Chapter 6. The higher the stake, the clearer the mind. Gaziantep, 1969. No longer a boy, but not yet a wolf. He was 19. Layla had long dissolved into the past, like cigarette smoke in the Turkish sun. Now he wasn't just that kid who wins something. He had become dangerous to the system, though he himself didn't yet realize how much. In the city, whispers had begun. If that guy's betting, he knows something. They started to fear him. But no one could prove anything. He always did everything cleanly, without unnecessary noise. Bet at the last moment. Cash through acquaintances. Information only by word of mouth. And most importantly, he never repeated the same trick twice. It was during those years that he met Azra. She was married, the wife of one of the racetrack owner's assistants. Her husband slow, dull-witted with a gold watch and cheap shoes. And she fast, cold, and very beautiful. He noticed her on the balcony. She was smoking and watching the races as if she already knew who would lose. He approached her himself, without artifice. He simply stood beside her and asked, "Does your husband place bets?" He pretends he's important. It's not the same thing. The next day she found him. A week later, they met in an apartment above an old coffee shop. A month later, she gave him a list of horses that were supposed to yield victory. He didn't ask how she knew this. It was clear enough. Someone at the top had started influencing the results. Sometimes for money, sometimes for politics. The main thing was the information was real, and it came through her. He placed bets through others, through old men who had no faces, only shadows. The sums grew. One time he won 10,000 liras in a day. The next, 14,000. He could already taste victory on his lips in advance, even before the start. Azra laughed when he tossed bundles of money onto the bed. "And what will you do when it all collapses?" "I don't build castles. I build tunnels." They lived like something out of a movie. Fast cars, expensive restaurants, fights with jealous husbands, bodyguards at the doors. He thought everything was under control. But one day she didn't show up. He waited in the cafe for 3 hours. Then at her house. Then on the balcony where they first met. A day later he found out. Her husband had left with her for Istanbul. For good. The racetrack owner had changed. The assistant had gone to the ministry. The scheme closed like a book. Someone had forgotten to finish reading. All that remained was emptiness. And money. He lost almost everything then. Not because the bets were bad, but because he was betting on emotions. Again, like with Layla, only more expensive and more painful. He walked down the street with empty hands, passed by the booth where he used to take bets. Himself, past the vagrants who now recognized him but didn't greet him. He stopped, sat down, lit a cigarette, clutched in trembling fingers, and told himself, never again fall in love with a source of information. From that day on, he stopped looking women in the eyes, stopped sitting in cafes if he didn't know who the owner was, stopped trusting what came too easily. He became cold-blooded and precise. It was then that his first pseudonym appeared, Kurt Wolf. That's what they began to call him. In the city, quietly, in a whisper, because a wolf is not called, he chooses when to come. Himself. And every time he placed a new bet, he remembered Azra, her gaze, her list, her betrayal, and then he clenched his teeth and went to win, because love loses, and cold calculation always comes out ahead.